Goodyear, United Airlines. United Airlines there's called a Universal Air Travel Program. It's a credit card for airline travel that is not based on your personal credit. You see, and Sarah and I love that account because, you know, we love to fly first class. I mean, we just first class is required. That's all there is to it. But it's pretty expensive to do. So sometimes you want to be able to finance those things, okay? So business credit is really the solution that so many people are looking for, okay? But the problem is that so many people just don't know about it. That's the mission of Imagine International. Okay, Capital Credit XP. This is our personal credit improvement solution. It's a software program that was actually written specifically to educate consumers on personal credit and personal credit reporting. And then it gives them a suite of tools that automates the entire process of improving their credit reports, A to Z. You see, if you go to the credit bureau, one of the credit bureau websites, TransUnion, Experian, and they'll have a section in there that says dispute something on your credit report. And that's what most people do because that's what you can dispute directly with the credit bureaus. That became the big thing all of a sudden. But what people don't understand is that disputing directly with the bureau removes about 70% of the process that you are entitled to under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is a federal law. Because you dispute directly with Experian, they come back and they say, well, it's a valid account, okay? They give you nothing else to do other than add your 100-word statement. Through this software, there are 5 other steps, and one of them involves sending a letter to the Federal Trade Commission to seek their help in working with you to get this situation resolved with the credit bureaus. The credit improvement process is a legal process. Everything you are doing needs to be automated, it needs to be tracked, it needs to be organized, because ultimately speaking, you can get yourself into the position where you can file a lawsuit against the credit bureau for non-compliance with federal law, period. But if you haven't gone through the whole process, what happens if you're filing a lawsuit and you go to court and they're like, well, what's your claim? Well, I don't remember half of it, but this is what I think. Your case is going to get thrown out. You see? So the concept of this software is to educate a consumer and then let them work on their own credit. Why is that important? Well, first of all, the federal government said that's what you should do. Second of all, it's because if I pay you $500 to work on my credit report, 6 months later, you still need to be working on it because the process is not an overnight process. But what are you doing? You're focused on the new clients that you just got. You see, so that's why so many people end up being taken advantage of by credit repair companies, is because it's just not enough money in it for them to work that long on the process. Okay, how do I know that? Because I used to be in the credit repair business, and I saw how the people that I worked for, they would just work on the new clients and get a couple of deletions on them, and then they just kind of get shuffled to the back burner because it's always a concept of focusing on the new client. Okay, that's how people get taken advantage of. This software ships with 2 users standard. That's very important. For $20 a month, our software will enable 2 people to educate themselves on personal credit and work on their own credit. Get on the internet and look up credit repair, and you'll see 500, 600, 700, 1,000, 900. You'll see all these big prices. Our concept is low cost, high value. We have the Walmart philosophy of doing business, okay? High value, low cost. Being translated in Spanish actually as we speak. Let's talk about another feature, and this is new for everyone else, another feature in the software, which is the debt settlement wizards. How many of us have debt? How many of you all know people that are in debt? You see? And you hear these commercials about consumer credit counseling service and all these companies that you can go to and turn it over to them. And they'll work on settling your debt, and they'll work on negotiating deals with creditors. You see, you can do that yourself, and what we've done, we've put an entire suite of tools, and this is the exact suite of tools that a law firm or a counseling service would use in order to settle debts on your credit report, but you're able to do it yourself. Advanced methods for removing negative items from your credit report. You don't just dispute things. You actually work with the credit bureau and the creditor and the collection agency, you see. But if you don't understand that, then you're not going to do that. And the credit repair guy is never going to do that. They are never, ever going to go to work with the collection agency or the creditor. They strictly focused on the credit bureau, okay? You can force creditors to stop calling. That's a big thing. A lot of people are making decisions because they're under duress, under stress. We have a video on our website, which was a Dateline NBC story that talked about how people were practically suicidal over credit collectors, bill collectors, calling them and telling them we're going to put you in jail and all those things. And it's totally false, but uneducated. They didn't know any better, okay? You can create powerful restrictive endorsement letters that will make a collection agency remove negative items. Restrictive endorsement, No, I'm fine. Restrictive endorsement, okay? What a restrictive endorsement is, it is a letter that you send to a creditor with a check. On the back of the check, you put specific instructions. This will make this debt paid in full. Doesn't matter if you only sent half the payment. If they deposit that, it is an agreement, okay? You have a contract, but who knew that? You see, that's one of the features of this software, okay? Other creditor letters, account settlement agreements, change of address, billing clarification, all of the things that you would go hire someone else to do, we've put in this software for $20 a month, okay? Business Credit Blueprint. Business Credit Blueprint is not a process-driven software like the personal credit one. It's an educational component, and we modeled it after the Donald Trump University series, okay? It's an education that teaches you step by step how to go from being an everyday Joe to setting up a legal business entity and developing a business credit profile and getting approved under that business credit profile, okay? All of it within about 60 to 90 days. How long would it take you to start getting approved for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 credit lines with your personal credit? You see, this is credit building on steroids. Okay, that's exactly what it is. But the thing is that you have to understand, and most people say, well, I'm not a business owner. This can't help me. If you go down to your local courthouse and you file what's called a DBA for $16 here, okay, a DBA, you are a business owner. It doesn't matter that you haven't set up a shop, that you don't have a retail storefront. That doesn't make you a business owner. You are a business owner just because you filed a legal business entity, okay? There are a lot of companies that open up DBAs and LLCs specifically to build credit under them so they can get their other businesses approved for credit. You see? It's called creative finance, people. But if you don't know, you just don't know, all right? We also give you a list of over 100 vendors that will approve credit under your business without asking for your Social Security number. Nobody else is doing this, people. We are the only ones offering this type of concept in this model. You see? $35 a month. How many people do you know that would pay $35 a month to learn how to get approved for a $25,000 MasterCard without using their Social Security number? Any of you? Okay. How many of you know somebody who wouldn't pay $35 a month? You see, because you really want, you know somebody who wouldn't? Okay.
Not that would, probably that would not, but just would be kind of hesitant, wouldn't think that you...
Of course, that's right. Hesitant,
Yeah.
skeptical.
Yes.
You see, and the problem with most Americans is that we will skepticize ourselves right into the poorhouse. Well, I'm skeptical. Well, why are you skeptical? Because I'm uneducated. Well, just because you're uneducated doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that you don't know any better. If I was like that, I wouldn't be in this house right now. We wouldn't be driving the type of vehicle because everything we do, we finance under our business credit. We bought a $500,000 house and never had our Social Security numbers asked. They never even pulled a credit report. But the skeptics, well, I don't do that. But, you know, they... You see, continue to, you know, and then when their business goes south, what happens? All of a sudden, their personal credit tanks, and then they've got personal problems. So the skeptics are always going to be out there, okay? What I love about this business is it has a tendency to kind of change the skeptics real fast, okay, once they start to see things, all right? Now, the Blueprint, Business Credit Blueprint Platinum Service. It's a crash course that we created to really, really teach people that are involved in this business how to build a business credit profile. And we give them assistance because every dollar that you, as a representative of this company, pay to us for accessing the software, we report those payments to the Business Credit Bureau on your behalf. There is no company like ours in existence that actually works with you to build credit under your business. Mary Kay, Prepaid Legal, none of them report anything to the credit bureaus. You know why?